Good morning, Hike Talkers. Hey, Big D here. What a gorgeous, gorgeous day in the Pacific Northwest again. Oh man, another 90-degree day yesterday, and looks like it's going to be that way today again. So it feels so good to get out early in the morning and that nice, cool, fresh air. Get the exercise, get the breathing, get the training, get the heart pumping. Feels so good. So hey, today's Hike Talk, I'm going to answer a few questions that have been sent to me. Man, I've got some great questions, and all privately. I really like to see these things openly asked in the comments. But hey, I'm doing this, and this is the big question. One of the big questions is, why do I do this Hike Talk every day? and sometimes I don't post them every day, but I do them every day, and it's part of my daily habit. You know, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. How did it start? I was challenged to overcome my public speaking fear, to shoot a 3 to 5 minute video every day, 30 days straight, posted on Facebook, and just to overcome my fear of speaking and walk through all the pain and judgment I was going to get, and just realize that you can't care what other people think. And so that was how it started. And as I continued down this process, I got so many messages, and then going to various engagements, from class reunions to various speaking events, training, such, business conferences, and people would ask or say, you know, man, I really appreciate you doing what you're doing and sharing your experience and these basic ideas and some words of wisdom. And in any given moment doing this, you just wonder, man, is this just a big waste of time? You know, am I getting the views, or I'm getting the likes or not, or comments or what have you? And at the end of the day, I just decided that I'm doing this for me, number one, first and foremost. And not necessarily just for my own benefit, but for me, being that I record my thoughts, like daily journaling, and because I'm a much better speaker, talker than I am a writer, for sure. And I've had to learn that as well, at least the way to communicate properly. And I'm always working on that. And you're like, why do you do this Hike Talk? And I believe to whom much is given, much is expected. And I thought, I'm going to be out here hiking, training every day anyways. It's a really good opportunity to just have a talk about what's going on in my life, what's in my mind, and hopefully share some jewels that you can take along with you. And I chose to do this out when I'm training, primarily to show you that I'm doing it every day. And the other part of the questions were, why are they so damn long? On Facebook and all these various social media outlets, our attention spans less than a goldfish and all these stats, and that's absolutely true. I get it. But I'm not doing this for the people that's where they live. I'm doing this for people that actually want to make serious transformations in their life, and you're not going to do it with a single quote per se. You're not going to do it with swiping as fast as you can, basically overstimulating your mind. You're going to do it with deep connection, thought, care, love in messaging and delivery and such. And I decided to do this while I'm hiking, even though, I'm panting and take this, extended breaths and take a long time to spill out the words of the idea sometimes, longer than just rattling my trap. And I do that for a number of reasons, but the main ones is learn to control my breathing while I'm moving. That's a big one. And be able to deliver consistently, because I do this here, these 10 to 20 minute blurbs here for HikeTalk, but I'm actually recording between 1 and 3 hours pretty much every day. And then I listen to them back. And I'm crafting my skill set here, just like in manufacturing. I became a master part builder, a master tool builder, design, engineering, just masterful in the aerospace manufacturing lane. And I did that because I invested a lot of hours. We say 20 years, yeah, but I worked double shifts damn near every day. And that was, part of how I'm wired, is I'm all in. And that's why I love the gifts of being ADD and OCD, because when I'm focused on something and I have the ability to drive down that lane, I'm untouchable. And so, yeah, these things get long, but there's reasons for it. I want somebody to know that I'm out here working out, training as well. Now, I'm not going to try and attempt to do this while I've already done my deep lunges, and because there's no way I'd be able to be effective, unless somebody else was holding the camera and the training and such. Just because it's too intense. But I think we will be videotaping that at some point here, just so you can see what I do daily. But the talks here are hopefully for you just to get to know me, and hopefully you understand that, man, I'm just another guy out here in the world trying to make it happen, consistently up-leveling my mindset and working hard every day to just get better. The title of my book is Your Life Is Not Your Fault, but your results are. And there's a nice subtitle, and we'll get to that, but it's really about just understanding the 4 Ds of your life and how to actually get to the place where you can honestly say that you're living somewhere between an 8 and a 10 in all 4 categories: health, relationship, recreation, and wealth. And then, of course, the subcategories. But the key here is you need to have constant engagement, involvement with some level of mentorship. And this is how I broke through and consistently break through these various levels, is breaking my old mindset, my own thought process. And so as I move on these hike talks, again, the key is that we're doing this together. I hope you're listening to these when you're working out. We can match breathing patterns. How hard are you working? How hard are you training? You have nice, long, slow, deep breaths as you're cycling, as you're training. And these things ultimately will weave multiple joules in when you're prepared for them. You hear things in different ways based on the state you're in. And I've realized through my own just work, and then of course go out and seek out the data and the science behind it, to realize that this hour and a half to 2 hours after I wake up and I'm in this new rhythm and this new state for the day is when I'm the most creative, I'm the most productive. And that's how I'm wired. And the vast majority of humans are wired that way as well. There's always exceptions to the rule, but this is why for me it's important to get up and get my training in, get my body and my heart, get the blood pumping, get all the super fluid, super hydration in my system, so I can really get after what's about to come out of this brain and out of this mouth. And I get super excited about sharing these ideas and experiences, because I've had some great success in life. And I realized once I changed my mindset about what the one percenter club is. The world teaches you being a 1%er is about your income, and that's the only measurement that they take. I'm here to tell you that I don't give a shit about that 1%er group. I mean, I'm sure that we're, nice people and such, and of course I'm in that 1% group. But my point being is about putting them on pedestals like they've done something so unique that nobody else can do it, and they're these superstars. And in many lanes they have, and that's fine. But every time I work with these type of people and I help them overcome their stuff, you realize quickly is that the 1%ers I'm talking about is in my 4D model. I call the 4DI model, which is, are you 1%er in your health, in all 4 aspects of your health? Are you 1%er in your relationships, in all 4 aspects of the relationship? Are you 1%er in your recreation, in all 4? And then 1%er in your wealth model. Because you can make a lot of income, and that income's only one component of my wealth model. So you may be a 1%er in income, but I can guarantee if I walk you through your life, you got some serious pain and some serious issues going on. And unfortunately, the vast majority of high achievers, if you want to call them that, have significant issues, especially in relationships and their health. And they may be fit on the outside, but they're dying on the inside. They got some crazy other addictions, and whether they're addicted to porn or drugs or you fill in the blank, and we all see it. And again, I'm not justifying anything about them in their certain ways, because I've lived in those shoes as well. What I'm saying is recognize that if you want to be a 1%er in the club that actually matters, you got to learn to be a 1%er in all 4 aspects of your life. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I'm super pumped about helping people win. And when I'm talking about winning, I'm not talking about just making income. You see, I'm a firm believer, because of who I am and what I've gone through and where I am today and all the people that I work with, that if you get your health and your relationships right, the recreation and the wealth will come as a byproduct. How can you imagine living your life like that? See, when I decided to get my health right, and not just physical health, but all 4 components, right? Emotional, spiritual, physical, nutritional. And the S is also with sleep. Okay, all 4 components. As I walk myself through that process, I lost 104 pounds. But while I'm doing that, I'm also paying attention to the other things that matter. Developing my relationships, helping people understand that I've been in some dark places for a long time and I'm working myself out of it. But I've had to go back and apologize to a lot of people and walk through that process, right? Gratitude and forgiveness, commitment and intention. So yeah, I make these videos long because they're important to be longer. They're not made to be where you're just, sitting in the waiting room somewhere in 3 minutes and you can zip and you can spin through them. I'm not designing them for that. I'm designing them for you to actually get some real benefit out of this. And if you listen and you learn, you apply, you start actually taking some action, I promise you'll get results. But if you're the swiper, you're just looking for the next cliche or the next tricky goal setting thing, what's amazing to me is damn near anybody's programs or concepts work if you just start to do something. The root is always in the why. You're not doing it. Everybody's heard about goal setting. Everybody's heard about exercising and being healthy, and everybody knows that smoking's not good for you. Everybody knows that drinking alcohol and drugs and all those things, none of that stuff's good for you. Yet we still do it. I like to throw down a good pizza once in a while, but I know overall, pretty much nothing on that pizza is good for me. Maybe, depends on what you're looking at, what you're doing, but for the most part, this body is not designed to digest that stuff. Okay, so that's why it's so important for you to understand that when you get really hardcore focused in one lane, to start getting some results, and you can build some type of momentum in that lane, you also have to pick your head up And you have to look at other things as well to make sure that you're not breaking other things as you're going. Now, again, a breakthrough needs to break things, right? What I'm saying is that when you're focused and you're going down a lane, you have to really pay attention to the other 4 majors and 16 components or 15 components in your life, because your life is integrated. And if you're not paying attention to the other components, eventually they will pay attention to you. So the whole concept in this 4D model, and what I've been teaching, training this Living Kaizen transformation model is that you have a plan for each one of these levels, each one of these components in your life. It doesn't mean it's completely dialed in and it's going to be the thing that you're going to lock down for the rest of your life. But the biggest issue we all have in our life is overwhelm, stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. And how does overwhelm and stress and anxiety actually created? It's when we don't know what to do. And if you haven't been trained in the various lanes of life and to learn to start expect the unexpected and to realize that change is coming whether you like it or not. And so if you can get ahead of it and you can start to learn to embrace this model of change, which we just called it discovery, right? A lot of people don't like this whole thing about change. I don't want to change. Whether you want to or not, you need to. It's called evolution. It's the evolution of your life cycle, right? I mean, when you were a little baby, the only way you learn to be scared or you're afraid of everything is through your community. Everybody taught you these things. They built this belief structure into you. That's why I tell you, your life is not your fault, but your ultimate results are. What do I mean by that? Very simply, your community pre-programmed this brain for you. Okay, and you can. What's funny to me is when I describe this to people, I get all this pushback, and I'm like, why are you resisting? Why don't you just listen? Just take it in. Could it be possible that what I'm saying may be accurate? Because at the end of the day, everything that you've experienced up to your life has trained you and taught you and built you into this machine that has a guiding operating system. That guiding operating system is your belief structure. Whatever you believe drives the various thought processes, instincts in your system, that drives the chemical machine in your system, that ultimately defines how you feel about everything, right? So there's a lot to this. It's not that complex when you really start breaking it down. The challenge is that we get so overwhelmed because we don't even know where to go. We don't know where to start. And that's why I'm doing this HikeTalk. This HikeTalk concept, this idea, is to help you just to get a start. Hang out with me. Get some interaction. You know, eventually, we'll be doing this on a much larger scale, a broader scale. But I'm doing this right now because I like doing it. I didn't like doing it before, but I like doing it now because I absolutely love the messages. Sometimes I only get one private message, you know, but that's okay. Again, all of this, all the things I'm doing right now will all be cataloged, is already cataloged, and is going to be essentially a journal of my life and the cool daily things that I experience and go through. You know, yesterday I talked about having this great meeting with my software team, and we did, and I went in with this intention of understanding and empathy. Not like, oh, you need to accomplish this and you need to check this off and that off and that off. The whole first 2 hours was me in private meetings, of course on my back deck with the water fountain and the fire pit, and it was so damn nice. Fresh watermelon, nice water, grapes. It was awesome. And walking through individually to really understand where my team is, how they're feeling about the project, about me, how we're communicating. And what was great and interesting is because individually they really understood that I'm coming from a place that they know I want them to win big time. And by me helping them win, of course it's going to grow our business. Of course it's going to move us forward. But if they don't know why they're doing what they're doing, this is not like my business model is a little unique to many, because I'm all about the people winning. Yeah, we obviously have to generate revenue and grow the business every year and such. But I've dedicated my life to being a people builder, and it's been absolutely amazing this last 10 years. I had to invest the first 3-4 in myself to get myself realigned and turned around and straightened, if you will, at least to a level that I felt like I was in a position to consistently help other people win, and I could learn to manage that model. And I had to formalize my teaching into this training program, and by doing that, I just had stellar results. Why? Because now I have a framework to consistently go to. Because when I recognize that they got something going on in their life and they don't know how to articulate it, they don't know why they're feeling that way. I mean, have you ever asked yourself sometimes, you're like, why do I feel like this? I have no idea. I mean, I got the world by the tail. I'm so excited about what I'm doing, and there's no reason why I should feel crappy. There's just absolutely no reason, yet you still do. You ever feel yourself feeling that? Being in that position, that state of mind, when you look around? And this is my belief, is that it's the power of your association. It's the power of your community. Is that if you're not around people, okay, these concepts, these aren't even arguable anymore. Like, we know neuroscience, we understand tribe and human beings extremely well. Now, of course, we'll always have new data and new information and new tests and so forth, but from a behavior standpoint, we got, collectively, we understand human behavior pretty damn well today. The market, people, science. And what we'll find is that it really comes back to your association. Who are you hanging out with? Who are you listening to? Oh my God, if you're watching the news, shut it off. I don't care which side somebody's on, right? If you're the Fox or the CNN or whatever, I don't care. Shut it off. I mean, I watch them occasionally from an entertainment value, because if you really understand the big model and the big machine, it's all a bunch of bullshit anyways. It is literally a big marketing machine. And it's just about to split and divide and conquer. So you can pick sides and have something to fight for. Like, soon you'll learn, and I will be talking in depth on this subject matter. But that's why you can't pay attention to that nonsense, because the vast majority of people haven't invested the last like 3 decades like I have paying attention to it. Because believe it or not, I actually had aspirations years ago, because I wanted to make a difference in politics. And I started studying it, and I was like, this is a total shit show. And the characters that are involved, even the really good ones that go in as really good people, because how the model basically corrupts people. Anyway, getting into all that. And I'm just saying, your association is so powerful. So you have to check your association. If you're constantly feeling bad, why? Are you living on Facebook or social media so much, and you're basically looking at how awesome everybody else's life is? The vast majority of people don't post bad things on Facebook or social media. They just don't. And you're starting to see some a little bit more, but I swear it ends up being, is it real life, or is it just marketing? And it's amazing how these tools just guide our lives. And that's why I'm doing this HikeTalk model, right? Hopefully give you some refresher and some serious tough love, empathy. More importantly, a path, a guide. This HikeTalk to me is basically like when I go over, like I was in Eastern Washington here, whatever it was, a week or so ago, and I went out with this, world-class guide, and I've been fly fishing for a long time, and he took me out and saw what I was doing, and I told him when I got on the boat, I said, hey, I've been doing this for a long time, but treat me as I don't know anything about, you are not going to hurt my feelings. I'm not going to say, I know, like our kids do. or maybe you do, I just went with a complete open mind and just said, hey bud, if you see anything that would help me and I'm not getting the results I want, please help me out. And so yeah, we're in this certain stretch, the wind's blowing a certain way, you have multiple currents in this certain eddy. I'm using my hands like you can actually see them, and we're in this particular drift, and I just had a hell of a time keeping time with my fly and keeping in this no drag state so it looks super natural, so the fish will come up and eat it. And he's like, hey, right at the last second before that thing lands, just take your rod and slide it to the right. And so he goes, yeah, just go ahead and practice it. Like, hey, take your normal cast, and then right at the last second, right when you end that stroke, just slide it to the right a little bit. Oh my God. I was like, I was like, dude, that, and all of a sudden my floating line just landed just perfectly, and the fly was exactly where it should have been. Do you think the rest of my trip was awesome? And I started implementing. I'm like, hey, Steve, hey, bro, you got any other tips, man? Just watch what I'm doing. He's like, yeah, I mean, I've seen like 20 things, but I'm just trying to check your self-image. And I was like, bring it, man. Anything that you got, I'm willing to listen to. Why? Because I'm an amateur at fly fishing, okay? He does it every day. That's his role. That's his job. Okay, it's his job. It's his life. Okay, and he's a big investor in this complex and all, and so I was privileged to be on his boat. But it's his role. It's his life to help people understand the environment. I mean, I floated that river. I bet I floated that river 100 times. It's a lot of times. And he described plant life and endangered plants and all these things along the exact same route that I've been, but because I didn't have the guide, because I didn't take the guide service down through there, I had friends that had guided there and so forth, and kind of described how you manage this and handle that. But at the end of the day, man, like, this guy is the expert in this lane, right? And we got to talking about various things, and I was like, man, that was those little techniques. And then we stopped on this bend, and we got out, and we actually he brought in some more different gear, which was a trout spay casting rods and gear. And we got in the river, and he taught me how to spay cast. And I was like, God. And I have a spay rod, but it's a big monster for steelhead, big monster 2-hander, like 14 foot. And he's got this little 10-footer. And I'm like, really? Wow, okay. And he showed me this cool little technique. And damn, I'm shooting line like 70, 80 feet across this river with like this perfect cast. It was incredible, right? In just a couple minutes with an open mind in the right state will change everything for you. And that's what I experienced. And that's why I do these hike talks. Is that hopefully you listen to these when you're driving, you're working out. Really working out would be the best. Why? Because we're like doing the same thing. I think it's really important to attempt to find mentors and guides in your life that can help you. And what did that cost Steve? What did that cost him? Nothing. But how much value did it bring to me by that guide helping me with those couple little techniques? Right? I mean, unbelievable. And so, for the next few days, I went out and I was using these techniques, and I was catching over 30 fish a day. It's incredible, right? And so, I'm gonna leave you with this. I do these hike talks. Yes, for me, that's how it started, and for journaling and things I define. But at the end of the day, I'm doing it for you. I want you to win so bad, and I'm sorry if I can't contain it down into some little snippet. And trust me, we'll do all that stuff too, but I'm telling you, if that's your mentality, you're not looking for transformation anyways. So I'm hoping for you. I'm pulling for you. I want you to win big time. Because I'll just tell you this, I want you to live that 8, 9, or 10 level in all 4 aspects of your life, just like I'm doing every day. And I haven't always been here, but I now have a plan. I now am a guide and have guides on this journey for myself. And I just want you to win. So, yes, we went 30 minutes today, and I'm proud of that 30 minutes. I hope you got something great out of it. God bless. And again, we're going to leave you this beautiful sunball. Let's go get him today.